Hi CGTN, welcome to our channel. If you are preparing for Java, Selenium, API or automation testing interviews, this channel is for you. Here, we simplify difficult concepts, solve real-time interview questions and help you become industry ready. Subscribe now and let's crack your dream IT job together. So today we are going to cover one main important program or concept. Most candidates are comfortable with reverse program and palindrome programs. But nowadays, product based companies are asking design based questions. One of the toughest among them is LRU catchy. Even experienced automation testers struggle to explain it properly. What is LRU? LRU means least recently used. For example, everyone nowadays having a mobile phone. In your mobile has space for only three recently opened apps. For example, if you opened Instagram, WhatsApp and YouTube, now you are going to open Gmail. Then mobile will remove the app you used long back. For example, I didn't use long back Instagram, then it should remove the Instagram from the list. So then the recently used apps are WhatsApp, YouTube and Gmail. This is LRU logic. This LRU concept can be achieved by using a combination of hash map and doubly linked list. In product based companies, interviewers generally expect this approach because it provides 0 of 1 time complexity for both insertion and retrieval. What is 0 of 1? 0 of 1 means constant time. Whether there are 10 records or 10 lakh records, the operation takes almost the same amount of time. For example, suppose we have a hash map containing 1 equal to WhatsApp, in the second index Instagram, third is for YouTube. Likewise, 1000 is for Gmail and 1 lakh is for Facebook. Now, if I want Gmail, then there is a method available in map. By using that, we can get the value by using key catchy dot get of 1000. If I put, then I hash map directly goes to the key and retrieves the value. It doesn't matter whether there are 3 entries, 100 entries, 10,000 entries or 1 million entries. The retrieval time remains almost the same. Therefore, we say search time is equal to 0 of 1, which means constant time. However, as automation testers, many of you may not be familiar with doubly linked list concept. So instead of jumping directly into the advanced implementations, let's first understand the basic versions using linked hash map. Once you understand the logic behind LRU catchy, learning the hash map plus doubly linked list approaches becomes much easier. Remember, in interviews, understanding the concept is more important than memorizing the code. So first, let's understand what LRU actually means. Now let's see how Java provides a simpler implementation using linked hash map before moving to the advanced hash map and doubly linked list approach. I'm going to create one class. The class name I'm going to keep as simple LRU catchy. I'm following the Pascal notation. So inside this class, I'm going to write simply the main method public static void main. So inside this method, as I already told, I'm going to approach this concept with the linked hash map. So I'm creating an object for linked hash map. Linked hash map inside generics. I want two values. One is integer and another one is string. Why? Because we know based upon index, I'm going to set the value like which was we previously discussed. One is equal to WhatsApp, two is equal to Instagram, 3 is equal to YouTube. Okay, I'm going to store like in that way so that I'm putting integer and string as my data. And I set my variable name as catchy is equal to new linked hash map integer string in that bracket. Okay, I'm going to mention 3 comma 0.75 f comma true. I will tell you why I am setting this value inside my object as an argument. Okay, inside this object I am going to write the logic. If you are a new to Java or a new user to Java, you will get confused in this code. Once after I have written and done my coding, I will explain you. Okay, so please wait. So inside this I'm going to create one method for remove eldest entry. So I'm going to keep this method as protected, and the return type is boolean, so that protected boolean remove eldest entry. So inside this method argument I'm keeping this map dot entry integer comma string eldest. I'm creating object for this eldest. Inside this method simply I'm my logic as return size should be below 3. Okay, I'm done with my logic. So by using this linked hash map object catchy, I'm going to store values in my map catchy.put 1 comma WhatsApp, catchy.put 2 comma Instagram, catchy.put 3 comma YouTube. If you print out sysout by using sysout of catchy, you will get the output as 1 equal to WhatsApp, 2 equal to Instagram, 3 equal to YouTube. So I'm going to get my value WhatsApp by using get method. So catchy.get of 1, it will return WhatsApp. Again I'm going to put the new value catchy.put 4 is Gmail. If I again print my catchy variable, the output will be different. For first time it will be WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube. The second time it will be WhatsApp, YouTube and Gmail. Instagram will be removed from the list. Okay, so the logic works fine, but I will explain you how I have achieved this concept. Now if you observe the constructor, okay, so here I created an object for linked hash map and I use the constructor, argument based constructor and non argument based constructor. You guys have been already know aware of that concept. So imagine that if you are giving any arguments to any constructor, it will get prioritized and it will be executed. Okay, in the same way we are setting the arguments here 3 and 0.75f and true. There is a reason behind this. This is actually one of the most important parts to explain in your classes. I'm sorry, in your interviews. Okay, because many candidates simply memorize this syntax without understanding it. Most candidates know the syntax, but they don't know why these values are provided. Do you have any ideas? So let me explain. Let's decode each parameter. First parameter is 3. Why I get 3? Here 3 represents the initial capacity. I am restricting the limit which will store in the value stored into the hash map, linked hash map. Okay, since our requirement is to maintain only 3 entries, we are starting with capacity 3. Second parameter is 0.75f. Many candidates get confused here. Why specifically 0.75f is used? 0.75f is nothing but it is called the load factor. Load factor determines when hash map should increase its internal bucket size. By default, Java uses 75%. For example, suppose current capacity is 16 when 75% of 16 is filled, that means 12. After inserting 12 elements, hash map automatically increases its capacity to improve performances. For LRU catchy, we are not much concerned about this value. That's why almost everywhere you will see 0.75f. because it is a Java's default load factor. So it is a very important thing in interview. The interviewer may ask what is the default load factor of Java, then it is 0.75. Okay. So the third parameter is true. This parameter is the most important one. It means maintain. If the true means it is going to maintain access orders. Whenever we access an element using catchy.get method, that element becomes the most recently used item and moves to the end of the linked hash map. For example, initially in our program, we put on values as, we stored values as 1 equal to WhatsApp, 2 equal to Instagram, and 3 equal to YouTube. If we execute catchy.get of 1, then entry 1 becomes recently used, that WhatsApp is recently called. Now our order becomes 2 is equal to Instagram, 3 is equal to YouTube, and 1 is equal to WhatsApp. The WhatsApp comes to the last. So if we had provided, if we set the value of constructor is equal to false, or we omitted that parameter, true or false, if we omit, linked hash map would maintain initiation order only. Okay, if we provide constructor true or false, then we can modify the linked hash map order. Even if we if it omitted this parameter, or if you mention false, even after catchy.get of 1 is called, the order will be remain same. 1 is equal to WhatsApp, 2 is equal to Instagram, 3 is equal to YouTube. So therefore, for implementing LRU catchy, providing true is mandatory, because LRU stands for least recently used, correct? And we need access order instead of insertion order. Understood? The second most important logic is, inside our constructor we created one method called remove eldest entry, correct? So this is the heart of our logic. This is actually the heart of the LRU catchy implementation. Most candidates simply copy this method without understanding why it is needed. Now observe this method. What the method is: protected boolean remove eldest entry of map.entry integer comma string eldest. Inside the method return size should be greater than 3. At first glance, this method looks confusing, but the logic is very simple. What is eldest here? Inside the argument, what is eldest here? Whenever a new entry is inserted into linked hash map by using the method called put, Java automatically calls this method. That's why directly from map we are calling that entry class, map.entry. So whenever entry is inserted, this method will automatically invokes. The parameter map.entry integer comma string eldest represents the oldest entry present in the map. For example, 1 is equal to WhatsApp, 2 is equal to Instagram, 3 is equal to YouTube. Here the eldest is WhatsApp because that was inserted the first value. Step 2. What does this method return? Here we set the return statement as boolean. So if it is written true, Java removes the oldest entry. If we return false, nothing will be removed. Then you have to understand the condition. Okay. So the condition is what? Size should be greater than of 3 is always greater than of 3. So suppose capacity is 3. Okay. Initially 1 is equal to WhatsApp, 2 is equal to Instagram, 3 is equal to YouTube. So current size is 3. The condition will be 3 greater than 3. So output will be false. Okay. So size should be always greater than from 3. So no entry will be removed here. But what I am going to do is, I am going to add new value are going to insert the new value by put method, the value is Gmail. So catchy dot put at the fourth index, I am inserting the value as Gmail. So the entry becomes 1 is equal to WhatsApp, 2 is equal to Instagram, 3 is equal to YouTube, and 4 is equal to Gmail. So current size is what? 4. 4 is greater than 3. So the output will be true now. Since the method returns true, Java automatically removes the oldest entry. Okay. So this is the concept behind the LRU catchy program. Okay. I hope everyone understood today's concept. If you found this video useful, don't forget to follow our page and subscribe to our channel for more interview questions, real-time concepts, and coding explanations. Also, if you are looking for interview updates, referral opportunities, and daily interview questions, join our community. The joining details are available in the bio. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video with another important interview question. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you. Thanks everyone.